Morning, children. How are you all? I think you all are fine. And in the previous video, I explained about the elements of a democracy. So, what are the elements of a democracy? So, elements of a democracy are participation, accountability, conflict resolution, and concern for equality and justice. And I explain about the meaning of participation. What is the meaning of participation? How the people can participate in the process of making government. And what is the meaning of accountability? Accountability means being responsible for one's action. And every citizen has the power to hold their elected representatives. And not only about this participation and accountability, the third one is the conflict resolution. What is the meaning of conflict resolution? And the earth has a limited natural resources like land, water, petrol, etc. So many natural resources are found on the surface of the earth. So conflict means uh, some issues between the different groups or among the groups clash over among themselves. So that is called the conflict. And here the democracy has the power, or the form of the government of the democracy has the form of power to conflict these solution, and they can solve the problem. So the earth has a limited natural resources like land, water, petrol, etc. So many natural resources are found on the earth, and the demand on these limited resources are increasing each day. The natural resources are limited, but the demands are still increasing by the human beings every day. What is the reason why the demands are increasing every day? Because of the growing population. Because the population is increasing, so demand is also increasing, but the natural resources are limited. So when these resources are limited, because already you know natural resources are making by the nature and they are limited, but the demands on it many. For example, petrol is a fossil fuel made from the decaying parts of the plants and animals, and it takes so many years to form, but its use are more and the demands are more. So there is a conflict or trouble between the various people. When these troubles between the various people or the groups who need that resources, if the conflict between the various people or between the groups who need that resources, so in every society there are the different interest groups. In every society they need these resources. So when these interest group clash over same issues, because interests are same, demands are same, but the resources is limited. So when these interests among these groups clash over the same issues, conflict result. सेम चीज़ के लिए, एक ही चीज़ के लिए जब बहुत सारे लोग एक ही चीज़ को मांगते हैं तो उससे बहुत सारी गलतफहमियां हो जाती हैं और यहाँ तक कि लड़ाई झगड़े भी हो जाते हैं. In India, there is given one example. In India, for example, many states are locked in conflict over the issues of sharing river waters. But here, the democracy in the form of democratic government, here the government solve only the issues between the two states or between states or central government. For other issues, there is a judiciary system. So in India, many states are locked in the conflict over the issues of sharing river water, because the river water flowing from one state to another state or from one country to another country. So there are issues between sharing river waters. In a country like India, where there is such human diversity means the variety of people lived in India. So conflict also arises among themselves. Diversity means different religious groups. The people in India, there are diverse people means different religious groups, caste, religion, and even between the rich and the poor people also lived. So among themselves the conflict also arises. So in a democracy, there are various established methods. There are so many methods. Then they can resolve such conflicts. Then they can solve their problems or solve their issues. The judiciary or the court of law. To solve all these problems, there is a judiciary or the court of law. Judiciary is the main body which deals the conflict resolution in a democracy. The court is an impartial body. The court or the judges should be impartial, and there is impartial means they should not give decision in any one of the party's favor. So the judges or the court should be impartial, and this resolves expected in a fair and just a manner. So all these resolved conflicts should be fair. For example, here is given Bilkis Bano, one of the victim of the Hindu-Muslim riots in Gujarat in 2002. Bilkis Bano is one of the victim. Victim means the person who is suffering or sufferer. So Bilkis Bano was a victim of Hindu-Muslim riots. Hindu-Muslim riots means दंगे. हिंदू-मुस्लिम दंगे में जो बिल्किस बानो थी वो एक पीड़िता थी और विक्टिम थी in Gujarat in 2002, and she appealed to the courts for the justice, and she got justice. She got justice when the court convicted some of the people who attacked her family. Okay, so the court convicted means they catch that people who attacked on her family members. So this was a case where a member of a minority community was able to get justice. The police is another body which deals with conflict resolution, and for there's judiciary, and police is also another body which deals with the conflict resolution, and the police is responsible for maintaining law and order in the country. Even in our city also, the police is responsible for maintaining law and order. In case where the police is unable to control the situation, sometimes the police are unable to control the situation, so the army is brought in. So in that place the government can call the army people, and the army imposes curfew, है ना. The army imposes curfew. Curfew means not to allow to come out from the home. Curfew means an order given by the army officer that bans the people from being out of the street or coming out from their houses. So the army imposed curfew in the troubled places and the conduct flag march to make people feel safe, and time to time they conduct the flag march past to make the people feel safe. So this is about the conflict resolution. Now the next is the concern for equality and justice. The fourth key elements of democracy is concern for equality and justice. Another key element of democracy is a provision of equality and justice for all its citizens. Means here all the citizens are equal in front of the laws and they get the justice. In a democracy, all are treated equally. All the peoples are treated equally, whether they are rich or poor, whatever be their religious belief, caste, race or language. Means all these things are not affected. All the people are get justice. They all are treated equally. All are equal in the eyes of the law. All the people are equal in the eyes of the law. Not even the prime minister or the president of a country is outside the force of law in a democracy. If the prime minister does mistake or the president does mistake, so they also can get the punishment or they can leave their post. In India, which has seen millions suffer because of the caste system and the system of untouchability. In India, many people are suffer because of the caste system and the system was untouchability. And the constitution makes special provisions for the welfare of the Dalits. To remove this caste system, to remove this system untouchability, the constitution makes a special provision, means a special act for the welfare of the Dalits. And now these Dalits are called untouchables. And these Dalits are called untouchables. And for these untouchables or for these Dalits people, seats are reserved for them in a parliament. For them, seats are reserved in a parliament. Not only in parliament, educational institution and the government undertakings, all there in parliaments, educational institutions and the government undertaking, everywhere seats are reserved for the untouchables. And the several laws also have been passed by the government for prohibiting the discrimination of these people on the basis of caste, creed or color. So the government also passed so many acts to prohibit the discrimination of these people. And one of the most pressing problem facing the government is the gender bias in India. Gender bias means female or female. Still the girls are often treated as a second class citizen. Still the girls are treated as a second class citizens. And the female fetus are killed. Fetus means a developing baby inside the womb, means that they killed the girl child before the birth, as the birth of the girl child is seen as unwelcome. Suppose if they are unable to kill the female fetus, So they seen the girl child as a unwelcome, means some peoples are not happy if they have a birth of girl child. Only they will happy if they have male child. But if they have the female child, if the birth of female child, they are not happy, they are not welcoming to the girl child. The government also has launched several projects to try and prevent female infanticide. Infanticide means the killing of baby girl. So the government also passed so many projects and so many acts to prevent the female infanticides, the killing of baby girl. And the girls are given free schooling. The government has passed so many schemes. So girls are given free schooling, means they are getting the free education. In some states, parents are paid money by the government if they let girl child studying in the school. Okay, so some parents are paid money by the government. Government also paid the money to the school. So government also paid money if they have a girl child studying in the school. And this effort to treat all the people as equal, regardless of their sex, race or religion, is a hallmark of the democracies around the world. And there are some more important elements of a democracy which make it the most accepted form of the government in the modern world. And about these and other important elements you will study in higher classes. So here only the 4 key elements of democracy you studied. These 4 elements of a democracy are the participation, accountability, conflict resolution, and the concern for equality and justice. Now see the glossary. Referendum, a direct poll on a government decision. Here the people can give the direct poll on the government decision. Media, newspaper, radio, television, etc. Judiciary, the courts of law. Curfew, an order that bans people from being out on the street. Fetus, a developing baby inside the womb, means the baby which is developing inside the women. Hallmark are distinctive characteristics. So these are the glossary you learn from the book if you have, otherwise you learn from this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.